Hello and welcome to Shelby Parks and Rec in the News. I'm Mike Adams. We're going to discuss some very important events that we had in the township, and then we're going to have in the local area. Today with me is Mike Ward. Title is Race Director.
Co-director.
Co-director. We're going to talk about a recent race in the area I was a part of. It was a great event. We're going to talk about some in the upcoming future and some of the logistics of those races. Thanks for coming today, Mike. We appreciate it.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity to come out again. I think it's always a good thing to do a post-race event, in part for the thank yous, in part to let everybody know how things went and how it all worked out. So just a little background, we did the first annual Run the Creek. We nicknamed it the Glow Run. And it was Saturday, April 16th, after dark. And we ran a kids race that was about a half mile, and then we followed it up with a 5K all along the back 9 holes. Marked it up with little lights along the way and whatever, which we'll light up more next year as well. And it was an awesome event. It was inspired by a friend of mine from the race directors. They have a little cart of hers. They do a race up at Stony Creek they've done for about 5 years called the Cassie Hines Shoes Cancer Foundation. And it was really her that first had done it, kind of the concept of it. And when Mark Hackle approached me last August, he said, let's do something unique, something different. Let's do a night run. Said the golf course, so I took him up on it, and lo and behold, Cherry Creek Golf Course said we would love to host the event.
How many like glow and night runs do you know in the area? Because this is the first one. I'm kind of new to running myself. Yeah. It's only been about a year. I've been in a couple races, but this is the first one I've heard of.
Yeah, as a true glow run, a full race lit up with the way we had it all laid out. This is the first of its kind in the southeast Michigan area. You see occasional ones where they have little lights on their head and things like that, but the kind of the uniqueness, the fact that it was on a golf course as well, just the combination of all of it made it a very, very unique event.
It was. Give us a little recap when the race occurred, how many people did you have, and the different levels. I know you talked about the kids run. I participated in the 5K. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we had over 600 participants, which is incredible for a first-time run. Yeah. You're lucky to get 100, 150 on a good year. But we had 600 people show up. It's funny, over 500 pre-registered, and we had 8 people that didn't show, which is unprecedented. You usually get 20, 30, 40 people that sign up.
That's a great show-up rate there.
And then we had 75 to 100 walk-ins. I know other people that just walked that didn't register, which was fine, but it was an amazing turnout. The kids run had a large number of kids. I don't know the exact count, but it was fun to watch the kids do their little half-mile run. One of my favorite photos from the entire night I'm going to hold up was a young lady, young little gal with the last name Verlin. She was really the hit. When she finished, she was all by herself in the kids run. The crowd went crazy, and it lit everybody up for the main 5K run.
It did. I started out about probably 100 yards back from where she ended, and it sounded like everyone was right next to me. They were so loud cheering her on and yelling, and it really was a great sight to see for sure.
It was truly a touching moment. Everybody got these beautiful glow medals. It was quite a hit with everybody, and they did glow. We had our little flashlights that we used along the way, which were cool. They lit it up along the way, which turned out to be very handy. And then the shirts actually did do some reflecting up, which was kind of nice. It was just all around. It was an incredible family night, and so many people addressed it that way, a family outing.
For sure. So, me and my family did. I think we had 9 or 10 there from my family. It was a great, I think what it catered to is, like you said, the walkers, the runners, you could do whatever you want. I know most races are like that, but tell us a little bit about, as I know my big question going into the race was how it was going to be set up and where on the course it was going to be. Tell us a little bit about where the actual race went throughout the course.
Well, we ran the back 9. We started, I believe, on the 17th hole. It was all through the back 9 of the course. In Cherry Creek Golf Course, without their cooperation and support, we could have never pulled it off. It's always about the volunteers that help.
Oh yeah, you need a lot of volunteers.
Will Hewitt and of course Earl Weber, the director, they allowed us to do it, and Will's crew were incredible. It was like having instant volunteers to help us to make it successful. Eastside Vineyard Church, who we always work with at Christmas time because we cut through the Shelby Junior High for our Jingle Bell run, they said, we want to help out with one of your races. They had 25, 30 people come out. A lot of other volunteers. So working with Fast Bob Busquart, our timing guy and well-known runner from the area, laid out a beautiful course on the back 9.
Yep.
And we had, it was kind of a tease because the 2-mile mark was, you could look over and see the finish line. You still had a mile to go. And a few people commented on that. They thought they were done. And they weren't actually, it was a couple of the Shelby cable crew that ran that were saying, we're ready to finish, but that wasn't the finish line.
Yeah, a little trickery there, a little trickery.
So, yeah, it wasn't intentional, but it just happened to work out that way. And we had the entire hall, with the exception of one room. There was a small wedding on the end. We had all the remaining area. We had pizza and all kinds of snacks and goodies for people. And everybody stuck around, which
that was well attended. You
very,
could tell that was
Yes.
very well attended.
Yeah.
When we went up there, there was a lot of people that went up there for that, and I know they appreciated that, and it was well
stuck
attended.
around. It was nice to see everybody stick around in the hall. So we did our overall awards. We just had the overall winners for that as well, and got a chance for everybody to mingle. And it was so cool because nobody left. Even Mark Hackle, who really is the one that drove me to look into this in the first place, he stuck around the whole night, brought his nephews along. He put his arm around me. He said, "We're going for 1,000 next year, right?" I said, "With your support." He said, "Oh yeah, we got to go for 1,000." And then Will Hewitt from the golf course came up to me even before the night was over, and he said, "We're doing this next year." And I remember posing the question to him, "Are you asking me or telling me?" He says, "Oh no, we're doing this next year. This is unbelievable. We want to be part of this again." And again, without the golf course support, we couldn't pull it off.
And I know the turf was a little wet a couple days before, and I know I was wondering myself what kind of shape that was going to be in. And I know myself, I didn't hit hardly one soft spot, so those guys did an amazing job. They always do at Cherry Creek with the maintenance itself of that course.
Oh yeah.
It was in really good shape, and I know some of the race was on the cart path, some was on the fairways, and it was just in great shape.
We marked it up real well, and as best as we could. Next year we're going to put a lot more down because you learn from the first time around. The finish area will have lit up, but it was nice because everybody could come into the building then. And I had a couple people that even commented, so it was nice it was this early because there were no mosquitoes, which I had never thought about.
True.
So I
Very
thought, well,
true.
another little bonus for us there. And the weather, 1 week earlier, we were on the edge of that snow and ice stuff.
Oh yeah.
And a little divine intervention. We picked the right weekend.
It was a
and,
beautiful night.
It was, and and if anybody that didn't see the photographs, they're downloadable for free. You can always contact me, and I can get you the website again. We made it available to all the runners and walkers, and you could get all the pictures you want downloaded for free. Part of the unique thing that I do with my races is a little bonus we give you.
Yeah, that is very nice. That was Run the Creek 2016. Looking to do it the same time frame next year, Mike?
Yes, we are.
Very good. We want to talk about a couple other races that are coming up in the near future, some very interesting ones, some new ones. Mike, what do we got coming up?
Well, the one I'm going to mention, the July 16th run, is our infamous Go for the Gold. This will be the 12th year.
Is it really?
And 12th year. And it's funny because this is what got me into racing 12 years ago. I worked with Gene Lambert from Special Olympics and a guy named Trent Briney, who was a 2004 alternate in Olympics for the marathon. He was with the Brooks Hansen team, and he got me into it. And he heads out of town and leaves it for me, and that's what started me doing races, which is kind of cool. But it's a 5K and a 10K and a kids run, and we draw 500 to 600 every year. And 100% of the proceeds, again, go to Special Olympics, which benefits the Parks and Rec and all the kids that you could take to the multiple state meets. And that one is really cool. It's kind of our pride and joy. Weather's always kind of wishy-washy. You never know, but it's fun. It's got the woods part of it, the paved part of it. And with the new trail extension, some of it was even more paved now that we had this past year. So that was one of our races coming up. We have an interesting one coming up on May 28th. It's going to be the 5K pennant race. It's going to feature the trail right around Utica, adjacent to the new ballpark, and it's going to finish in center field of the new ballpark that's going to be there. Cool. So it's kind of an inaugural one to kind of kick it off with Jackie Noonan's blessing and the support of that group. They're able to put that together, and it's going to benefit the backpack program for kids that don't get lunches. So it's kind of a backpack feed the kids kind of program. I'm helping a gentleman with that one as well, and that's kind of cool. And another big one that's coming up called the Skip, Supporting Kids in Pain. It's a second annual 5K run at Riverbends, of course. And it's a relatively new one, but it's a young lady from the local high school that's been featured in this program nationally. She's gone to New York and all, and helps put these special bags together for kids in pain. It's a really, really cool program, and they asked me if I wouldn't mind help supporting it, which I am, and it's going to be scheduled at June 12th. And of course, we get to showcase Riverbends again, which is always a good one.
Oh, yeah.
And then last on my list here is it's a Stony Creek distance run. It's been running for 20, 25 years, I'll bet. And it's August 4th. It's a Thursday night, which makes it unique. And a lot of people come out.
That was the first one that I ran. My first race was last year's Stony race. Yeah. It's great.
And it's fun because there's kids run, a 5 and a 10K. Proceeds were going to Special Olympics again. It's funny because more and more money's coming to Special Olympics, which benefits you and Joe with more and more kids getting a chance to go to the meets.
And that's all those
that
kids
just makes
talk
my day.
about, especially with the Go for the Gold. They love participating in that. I know a lot of
Yeah.
them doing that. They like that race, walk, and they participate in that one. So I know they greatly appreciate that. And Stony Creek one's nice. Kind of reminds me of River Bends, where the path was last year, ran through the woods.
Right.
It's quite hilly.
Yeah.
For my first race, it was a little challenging, but
Footing's a little rough because I've run that more than once, and
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about
yeah,
as well.
but that was a great one for
Yeah.
me to start out, and it was challenging, and it was very nice. I like starting out by the water and finishing
Yeah.
up there as well.
We had some of the kids from your basketball program or whatever that were part of the
Yep.
special needs group that were helping, and some of them ran. And there were some nice interviews. If you get a chance, everybody out there should really, if you go on to YouTube and you hunt down it was the meeting after April 16th, which would have been around the 21st or 22nd, and pop the meeting up, and you go to about 21-minute mark. There's an awesome, really nice, lengthy story about the race, and both Kelly and Nick from Shelby Cable went back and forth, and they did one of the best jobs I've ever seen for a story. It was really incredible, but it really highlighted and captured the spirit of the race, even with our little young lady with the poster that I held up earlier. And it's that kind of promotion that helps us for next year make it a bigger and better race. And for that 1,000-person mark that we want to make and donate even more, we're estimating $8,000 to $10,000 that'll end up going to Special Olympics from this new race.
Wow.
That's $8,000 or $10,000 we didn't have last year.
Right.
So that's additional, so more kids get to go to the event. So, and it's just nice all the way around to see the different events and to continue to support them, and I love doing that.
Well, being involved in races for this long now, it seems like there's 2 or 3 races every weekend, and like I said, I just began running a year or so ago. It seems like there's 2 or 3 races at least every weekend. Is that different than it was 12, 13, 14 years ago? And why do you think that this many people are still coming out, or more than ever, even though there's so many races? Why do you think this many people are still coming out to participate?
It's an interesting combination of things. I think a lot of adults now are realizing need to get back into shape, take a little bit of care of ourselves, and got to get the running. And I've been running for 45 plus years. But to get back into shape, to feel better, and for your own health and welfare in part. And part of it too is we're in an area where, because of the Brooks Hansen running program, Kevin and Keith Hansen, and that fact that we have Desi going to the Olympics, and we had Brian Sell went back 4 years ago or 8 years ago. There's just a real good promotion of running in the area, starting with the elementary and junior middle schools up through high school. We've got some outstanding runnings coming out of the area. And I think as a result, there's more people putting on races because there's more runners out there.
Right.
And what's interesting is that we always have pickup, usually the day before a race or a week before, at Hansen's store, and they always allow us to come in, give a 20% discount and all. And I watch people, and people will come in for the month, and they'll go down the line. They'll start on one end of the board on the front of the store, look at the races all the way down to the other end, and they'll look at, okay, what's it for? What's the charity it's for? That's a big thing for them.
Sure, yeah.
What are the giveaways, the giving medals, just overall, individual top 3 in each age group? Are they going to have goodies and stuff after the race and all that? Because not everybody does that or does it as thorough.
Yep.
Is there going to be a DJ and a lot of excitement and party atmosphere like we like to do? So they'll use that as a determining factor. And what's interesting, Jingle Bell Run in December is in the morning, and we always seem to conflict with the New Baltimore one, which I've run for years, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The last 2 years, we've had a number of people that said, we're running both. Yours in the morning, the other one in the afternoon. And I've seen some people finish in their age group first, both races. But it's just, we're lucky to have Kevin and Keith Hansen and the Hansen team. And they come out, they support. I got people like Danny Miller that comes out, supports our races, young lady that qualified for the trials, and so on. So we're kind of lucky that way.
Right, and I think like you mentioned before, it's becoming more of a family event too, where I know we showed up about an hour early to the race, and there had to be at least 300 people already there before us. And people are making it more than just showing up and running or walking. It's a family event now, and I think people are enjoying the whole atmosphere. Like you said, there's DJs, then there's the after party, and it is more than just a half an hour. People are there 3-4 hours enjoying the evening, I think.
Yeah, we're kind of unique in the combination of things that we do for our race, which also separates it. Having the DJ, we always have Phil Randazzo, and we do the national anthem and all that, which not all races do, and that's a right way to kick it off.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have a big party atmosphere, and and it's fun for the different events. Last year we had Stan, our treasurer. He decided he wanted to help with the race, and 2 or 3 of the people on the board have done it in the past that always come out. Rick does, Doug Wozniak, and so on. But he said, we want to do more. So they came out not only to donate, but they were the water at the end of the race, handing out water bottles. and he had his whole family and crew out. And he came up to me afterwards and he said, I never realized what it is to put on a race and what a big deal it is. He said, you have a lot of people here. And I said, well, 500 or 600 participants, probably 3 times as many spectators. He said,
Yeah, right.
I have a real appreciation now for what goes into it.
Yep.
Well, the other day I run into him in the township. He said, we're going to do the water at the end. We want to donate. We want to be the water at the end. I went, we'll gladly take it because it helps us offset costs and for Special Olympics.
For sure.
So, yep.
For sure. Well, we appreciate all the info. We appreciate the updates on the upcoming races. I don't think I'll be in town for the baseball stadium one. I wish I could. That is Memorial Weekend, correct?
Yeah, it's on the Saturday before the Monday opening, but oh well.
Well, there's going to be a lot of excitement around that
Yeah.
time, especially. So we appreciate you coming in, and we appreciate everything you do with Special Olympics. Like I said, that's dear to us at Parks and Rec because we work with those athletes on a weekly basis with a lot of things. So we definitely appreciate everything you do for us for that, for sure, Mike.
Yeah, and again, thank you out to Cherry Creek and the crew out there.
Thanks, Mike. We'll be right back with Joe Youngblood. Thanks for watching.
Historic Hope Chapel, built in the 1890s, is available for rent for weddings and other ceremonies beginning the first business day in September. Hope Chapel is fully heated and air conditioned. Available amenities include podium and sound system, seating available for 80, 2 restrooms, party preparation room, and the Hope Chapel is fully accessible to handicapped visitors. For more information, please call the Shelby Township Parks and Recreation Department at 586-731-0300.
Hello and welcome back to Shelby Township Parks and Recreation in the News. Special thanks to Mike Ward and for all he does for our Special Olympic athletes right here in Shelby Township. The Glow Run at Cherry Creek, as you saw, was a wonderful success. Now we have Carrie Crozier, our park supervisor at the Burgess Shadbush Nature Center and park naturalist. Carrie, throughout the year at the Nature Center, we have some wonderful programs, special events. What do we have going on for our residents coming up?
We just had a Story of River Bends program that delved with the various different time windows of the various different diverse history we had in the park.
A lot of history at River Bends.
Yes, we're going to be working with the cable and actually formulating those into little mini programs for the township to enjoy in upcoming, probably later this summer we'll finalize that project so they can enjoy some of the history that's right here in their
A lot of
own
history,
parks.
and that works out great with Arthur Schenk, who's a history buff here in Shelby Township. So they'll be look forward to seeing that piece.
Yeah, look for it to come up. We touched last show, on the Mountain Bike 101. And that's a program we're going to be doing with the Nature Center over at the 22 Mile Road unit. And I wanted to take that to the next level because this is another one of those events that benefits our Special Olympics athletes, just like the Glow
Wonderful.
Run and the Gopher Run. And it's a free program. We do take donations, and all monies we do get will go towards our Special Olympic athletes.
That's wonderful because any monies will help for our Special Olympic athletes for the summer games and winter games. So that's a great idea.
Exactly, and it's another way of giving back to some of these people that do for us. And also, the Action Club sponsors a section of our mountain bike trails.
All right.
For cleanup. So
Sure.
it's one hand helping the other. And on that note, the CRAMDA, Clinton River Area Mountain Bike Association, has been making some additions to the trail, which
definitely.
you've addressed. Over 5 miles, 5.5 miles of trail, different size loops depending on your wants, needs, or time.
Skill level.
Exact skill level. And it's going to be an awesome program. They're going to make sure the bike fits you. You have the proper safety equipment. They're going to talk about how to negotiate certain terrain features, etc. And just go over some of the basics at the shelter and then go out and actually do a trail ride with a bunch of the various instructors from CRAMDA. So it's going to be an awesome program and it's free.
Well, it sounds like a great event, and as popular as the mountain bike trails have becoming in Shelby Township, I can't think of a better idea to have the professionals out there assisting the people like myself. I ride on the Macomb Orchard Trail, but being able to go out in the mountain bike trails that we have and give us a little bit of feedback and also safety of what to look for on the trail. What a great idea. What's the date for this, Carrie?
This is June 5th. It's a Sunday.
Okay.
And it starts at noon.
There's no fee, but call to pre-register?
There is no registration, but we
Just
do
show
have
up
contacts through CRAMDA, which we will give you their web address on the screen. and you can contact them and get some more specifics so that maybe you can make sure your bike is set up correctly and enabled to go on the ride with them.
Oh, they'll check your bike too.
Exactly. And as you mentioned, the Macomb Orchard Trail, well, that's great, you know, and it's a good place to ride. It's paved, it's safe and everything. But our trails take it to another level because it's off-road.
Right.
So if you want to take it to that next level, it's nice to have that. And one more thing about the trails is it doesn't steal from any other parts of the park. It's areas we
Right.
weren't using.
That's
now
a great point.
it's another great reason to go to your parks and enjoy. You know, it's awesome.
And even though it's the Cramba for the mountain bike trails, you'll see bird lovers out there, walkers,
Absolutely.
joggers, hikers using that trail system. So it's
And they're welcome to.
multi-use. Yeah, oh, definitely.
It's multiple use, you know, but it does give the mountain bike people a chance to go and ride in a place where, you know, it's not on the paved pathway, which they're welcome to also.
Sure.
But it's advanced skill level, you
Yeah,
know.
it's been one of the nicest advancements we've had
Oh, yes.
in Riverbend's Park, getting more people out there. So
More people asking about it, increasing popularity, it's
No
win-win
doubt.
for everybody, you know.
no doubt. Well, thanks a lot to Cramba for all they do. Really appreciate it.
Exactly. And we have a couple other programs coming up, which is Log Cabin Day, which is June 25th, and they can come to the Nature Center. It's another, I believe it's another free event. It's 11 to 4.
Okay.
We can actually do tours of our little mini log cabin and talk about some of the different things the pioneers use, both in the cabin and outside the cabin, as far as like the old ironing and
Life back in the day.
Yeah, step back in time a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
great place to come and just see what it was like in
They
pioneer
do a
times.
great job showing the.
Sure. I mean, it's a
how they
great,
lived.
great teaching aid, and it's
Yeah.
free. Come on out and show kids how it was in the past.
Wonderful.
Uh,
Do they need to pre-register for that, Kerry?
No, that's a
Cabin
walk-in
Day?
too.
Okay.
11 to 4. It's most of the day, and
Yeah.
yep, 11 to 4. I've seen.
Well, and
11
that's, you know, that leads me, we talked about before, improving the quality of life for our residents here in Shelby Township. And with the taxes they pay, we try to offer free programs when we can. Some
Sure.
programs we try to offset our costs. But here we are with another free program for our Shelby residents.
Well, it's just one more thing Parks and Rec does. I mean, we were into all of the active sports for the individuals, and you know, the mountain bike, you know, for the you know, the off-road, you know,
Sure.
other active individuals. Well, we have history and we have nature, so it's broad
Covering it
spectrum,
all.
Joe, and
Yeah.
it's nice to be able to offer all these things, you know.
Definitely. All right, Kerry. Well, anything else to add?
That's pretty much it. You know, maybe in the
All
next
right.
show we'll come up with some more goodies.
Great. Thanks so much, Kerry. Thank you so much for watching Shelby Township Parks and Recreation in the News. Please remember, here at Shelby Parks and Rec, we create community through people, parks, and programs. Thanks for watching.